Hello everybody, you're welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing us how to cut a ball gown dress for a baby of about 1 year plus, and this is the material we are going to be using. We're going to need our scissors, chalk, tape rule, the ruler, the fabric that we are going to use. I have doll face here, I have net and then damask. I'm going to be using a damask for the upper part of the gown, while the net and the doll face will be for the down part of the gown. Thank you so much guys. Let's go right into the video. Okay, so here is the measurement I'm going to be using. Shoulder 7, bust 20, waist 20, half length 8, and the full length of the gown is 20 inches. So first I'll start by measuring the half length of the gown. So the half length of the gown is 8 inches. So all together I'm going to mark 9 inches plus the half inch for the joining of the down parts to the upper part, and then for the picking at the shoulder. So I added 1 inch extra. Okay, so I marked this with a straight line. Okay, that's a half length. All right, so I went ahead to mark the shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches, and I'll add half inch allowance at that shoulder part because of the turning of the shoulder with the lining. So I'll go ahead and mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus half inch, which is 4. So I marked 4 on the shoulder here. Alright, then I'm going to mark the armhole line, how deep I want the armhole to be. For a 1-year-old I used 4 inches. Okay, so on that line I marked a straight line. That armhole line I marked a straight line. Now on that armhole line I'm going to transfer the shoulder measurement, which is 4. I transferred it to the armhole line, then I connected it with the upper one with a straight line. Afterwards, I marked the shoulder slope. I marked half inch. This is because I'm marking directly on the fabric. Then the neck width, how wide I want the neck to be, I used 2 and quarter. This is for a 1-year-old, so the neck should not be too wide. Then I connected the slope to that neck measurement. Alright, so after marking the width, I'll go ahead and mark the depth, how deep I want this neck to be. This is a V-neck, so I'm going to use, I used here was 4 inches, but you can make yours to be like 3.5 so that the neck will not be too long or too wide for the child. Then on the armhole line I went ahead to mark the bust measurement, which is 20 divided by 4. What I got was 5, so I marked 5 inches on that line. Then I added the sewing allowance of 2 inches. Since the bust and the waist is the same measurement, I transfer the same measurement to the waistline. The waistline is where we marked our half length. Okay, so I came back up here to do the armhole curve using my arm hook of ruler. Alright, that's the arm hook off. So the next thing is for us to go ahead and cut this out. We are done cutting we are done with the front of this dress. So I went ahead to cut it out, and after cutting out, we are going to use this to cut out the back panel. So we are done with the front panel of this dress. Cut it out following the chalk marks. Follow the chalk marks. Okay, so we will go ahead and use the front to cut the back. We simply place the front on the front that we have cut out on the fabric. Then the only difference will be the zipper allowance that we are going to add for the back panel. So I went ahead to mark 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance. Okay, sorry, I have to adjust that so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So 1.5, I'll mark 1.5 here. Then I went to the down part one, also mark 1.5. Then I'll go ahead. I went ahead to connect this with a straight ruler. So after connecting, I place my front properly and neat. Then I'll just cut out. I'm going to use the same neck measurement for the back. So all I just did here was to just at that back where I want the v-neck to stop at the back, I just marked a straight line. As you can see, straight line, then trace out the V, and I'll go ahead and cut this out. In order to prevent the fabric from shifting, you can use your office pin to hold it down so that the fabric does not shift. So we're done. We'll open the zipper allowance at the back. Alright, and we are done with the back. So these ones that we have cut out now, we'll use this to cut the lining. I'm going to be using doll face to line this upper part, so I'll go ahead and cut the lining for this upper part. Kindly like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. To cut the lining, we'll simply put our front panel and the back that we have cut, just simply put them on the doll face and cut it out. And so we are done cutting the lining, the front and the back. So the next thing we are going to do is to cut the down part of this dress, and I'm going to be using gathers for the down part of this dress. So what we'll do is to remove the upper part, which is the 8 inches that we have cut from the full measurement, which is 20 inches. You see, the half length 8, so what we'll have left is 12 inches. I used 1.5 yards of doll face for this down part. Normally you can use, maybe depending on how full you want your gathers to be, you can use your the waist measurement multiplied by 3, but I'll be using this 1.5 yards of doll face. So I folded it into 2, Okay, in order to remove the upper part, so I placed my tape rule. I started from the 8 inches. You can measure from 1 to 12, after removing it, but I prefer to do it this way. So I placed my tape rule from that 8 inches, then I marked up to 20. Then I went ahead, after marking, to add 1 inch allowance, which is half inch for the joining at the waist, and then half for weaving. I'll be weaving the down part of the doll face. So altogether I have 13 inches. So I'll go ahead and go to the other end of the cloth. As you can see, I marked the 13 inches. Then I'll connect this with a straight line and cut out. This is what we are going to gather and use for the down part of the dress. So here is the net we are going to use for the down part of the dress. We'll gather this on top of the doll face. Alright, so I have 3 yards of net here, and I'm going to go ahead and fold this into 2. So after folding into 2 equal halves, I made sure that the edges were straight, so you can secure the edges with office pin so that you know that the 2 edges are the same. Then next we'll go ahead and mark the 13 inches that we marked for the doll face, but this time around I'll come down a little bit by about 1 inch, making it 14 inches, because I wouldn't want the doll face and the the doll face and the net to be the same height. I want the net to be a little bit longer than the doll face, so I'll mark 14 inches instead of 13 for the net. Sorry, my camera is not doing justice here, but all I did was just to mark 14 inches down straight on the net. So from this fabric, we are going to have about 3 layers of net, because the net is by 60. So when you mark 14 inches, cut out first 14 inches, you still have so we'll have about 3 layers of net. So after cutting out the first, I placed my net again, arranged it, making sure that the edges were straight, secured it with pin. Then I marked another 14 inches. I continued like this until I exhausted the net. So altogether I was able to get 4 nets. I was able to cut out 4. So this means that I'm going to have 4 layers of net. So, and I will arrange all the 4 of them together, making sure that the edges are straight. I'll trim out any excess or anyone that is not straight. It has to be straight. That's the beauty of it. Then before gathering the net. So after this, I went ahead to cut out ABA lining. use the doll face to cut out outer lining that we are going to use for the inner lining of the ball dress. It is on top of this that we are going to gather the hard net that is going to give the fullness to the gown, the ball effect to the gown. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll continue in the next video.